Welcome to my unboxing of the Bitfenix Raider. So this is actually a fairly exciting case because it's heavy. No, it's not that heavy. I'm just messing with you guys. So this is a gaming-oriented case, as most of Bitfenix's case products actually are. They're a very gaming-friendly company. They go for a kind of well, without overdoing it, you know, like a performance aesthetic, but still very clean looking on a lot of their cases, especially the Shinobi. I love the Shinobi and the Shinobi XL for the plain, sleek aesthetic that is still very performance friendly. So let's go ahead and get this opened up. This is the first case that I've yet encountered that supports up to 4 USB3 front ports. So that's something they're doing that no one else has actually been able to execute on yet. Alright, comes packed in a hard foam. We got about 1 inch of packing on either side. Once again, you know, I'm trying not to harp on this too much these days, but I would much rather see a soft foam, but at least it's not a huge case like the Cosmos 2 or something like that, coming with a hard foam. So it's not as heavy and it's not going to be as full of hardware as something like that, so it's less likely to break. Very nice, actually. Very slick. They just keep getting better and better at this stuff. So let's go through the overall outside features, then we're going to open it up. So first of all, we've got 4 5¼ inch bays, and then we've got what appear to be, let me just see. Yep, so this whole front meshy intake frontness is all filtered, so you can very easily blow the dust out of it if you want. You've got a gorgeous looking Bitfenix logo that's actually made of metal instead of just being like some plastic thing, or maybe it's not made of plastic, or maybe it's not made of metal, maybe it is made of plastic, but either way it feels really good. Overall really sharp. It's cold to the touch, so I don't know, maybe it's metal on top of plastic. I'm not going to spend too much time speculating about it. Let's move around to the other side. This side is pretty plain. You got a couple little bits here so that you can grab onto them when you're taking the side panel off. On the other side here, very plain as well, very sleek, clean aesthetic. On the top is where some of the action starts to really happen. So here we've got an integrated fan speed controller, okay, so max and min. We've also got, oh, is it focusing? Not now? How about now? We good? We cool? Okay, let's just cut back. Sorry guys, my lens is scratched and I'm too cheap to buy a new camera, so there you go. Reset switch, power switch, hard drive LED and power LED, and over here, aha, the coveted 4 front USB 3.0 ports with microphone and headphones. So this is cool. I actually like top-mounted I/O. I don't mind sort of front top-mounted I/O as well, but one of the things that really bugs me about, I went to look for my case, but it's not there. I've got a tech station there. One of the things that bugs me about my case is that the front USB is way down here, which unless it's actually up on your desk is not very convenient. Although, the flip side of that is that if you were to use a Raider on your desk, you'd have a hard time reaching the front I/O as well. So this is more intended to be used as a case that is sitting on the floor next to you. So this looks like it comes off, but it's probably tied in some way on the inside. So let's go ahead and open it up before we try to do that. I guess we can look at the back while we're doing this. So, on the back we've got a 120mm cooling fan, we've got 7 expansion slots and a bottom-mounted power supply. So all that's fairly straightforward. You got your standard I/O shield. Remember when they used to include like a dummy one with cases? I could never figure out why they did that, because it's not like, you know, I would always try it with my motherboard, be like, oh, I wonder if it works with my motherboard. Wouldn't that be crazy if it was actually the same layout as my motherboard this time? And it never was. Not once. Okay, so we've taken off the side panels now. Which means that we can figure out why this won't move, and the reason is, that it comes pre-cable tied down, actually, fairly tightly. So, I don't know that we're actually going to undo that. So let's just kind of peek under it. So you can see here we've got support for, what's that? We might rely on the box for this. 3 times 120mm. The cooling in this case is actually pretty cool. Give me a sec, guys. Sorry guys, so that's space for a 200mm cooling fan up here in the top. Alright, so that's pretty much it for what's going on down there. We're just going to put that back on. Alright, so let's have a look at the inside of the case. So there's our 4 5¼ inch bays. They've got a really nice powder coating finish on the inside here. This is actually better than some of the ones I've seen in the past. Very durable, somewhat rough, but check it out. It doesn't mark at all. In spite of me trying to put fingerprints on it, trying to scratch it up, that is going to look really good in photos when you're showing off your system, and it's going to look really good when you're like looking at your system even after you've built it, because it won't have all those little marks and dings and scratches and fingerprints all over it. That is a fantastic powder coating finish they're using in here. 2 120mm Spectre fans in the front. So yes, these are Bitfenix Spectre fans. These are not low quality fans, and considering the price of this case, the fact that it comes with those fans is actually pretty darn impressive. The included fan speed controller supports up to 5 fans, which is probably about right. Once we flip it over to the other side, I'll be able to know if it's exactly right. And the power for it is right here. In terms of cable routing room at the back, you can see there's plenty of room here for a 24-pin cable, as well as lots of different options for cable routing. So you've got all your power supply cables can come out either here or here, and then they can come back to plug into your video cards, to plug into your optical drive, to plug into your 8-pin connector, or any fans or whatever else you've got in the top can all run through here. They've got a nice wide gap there, just in case you have to run some random cable through here. They've got a gap there as well. I've had to do it, so I'm glad it's there. And that pretty much covers it. So let's turn it around to the other side. On the other side of the case, we've got our toolless 5¼ inch. These don't move until you actually slide in the drive itself, so yeah, not going to worry too much about that. And then we've got toolless 3½ inch. So you just take your, oh, it looks like, oh, check this out. We happen to have a drive handy right now. So all you got to do is pop it in there. There you go. You bend it out a little bit, and then you pop it in there. Position these just right. They are, here, they have rubber bits on them, so they're going to be vibration dampening. And then once you actually put the drive in it, they have a lot less flex to them. They're fairly solid, so you just throw that in there, and it's not going anywhere. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily ship it like that. If you're going to ship this system, I would go ahead and put a screw in one of the provided screw mounts right here. So they do give you the option for security or the option for convenience. Moving on, we've got, aha, there they are. There's our 2 USB 3 front headers. Right now, there aren't any motherboards I've seen that have 2 front USB 3 headers, but Bitfenix has also included in the accessory box, which I was having trouble finding, but have now found. They do include an adapter to allow you to take one of those front USB 3 headers and turn it into a front USB 2 pinout. So that will allow you to use the front pieces as USB 2 and USB 3. So that adapter is... Where'd it go? Uh-oh. Hold on a sec. And we figured it out. This is cool. Check this out. So there's the USB 2 connector, which you can hide the USB 3 connector back there, and then just plug the USB 2 connector in where it goes, or you can hide the USB 2 connector in the back. Obviously you'd be routing this from the back, and plug the USB 3 connector in. So that's awesome. So you have that option with both of them. USB 2 or USB 3 for your front panel ports. You just have to remember which is which once you plug them in. Front panel HD audio, and check it out, black down to the very end, power switch, reset switch, power LED, and hard drive LED, front panel connectors. Very, very nice. Okay, what else we got in here that we're missing? So there's a better look at that 200mm cooling fan spot up in the top there. Here is the 3rd included Spectre fan. Okay, we've got, yeah, 7 PCI slots, all with ventilation for additional, well, ventilation. Oh, filtered intake for your power supply. So there's your easy replace fan filter. And unlike the 800D is probably the best example of this, where it has that bottom fan filter that's 3 fan lengths long, and unless your case happens to be like 6 feet away from the wall, you can't actually pull it all the way out. Unlike that, Bitfenix has implemented their other one as a side-mounted or side-removed fan filter. So that means if you do put a fan here just for additional airflow into the case, then you can use that to easily pull it out and clean it. Not the fan, the filter, that is. So speaking of fan filters, you can see this is sitting right on the floor. So where would it get airflow from? They include some little feet with sticky pads, so you just stick those there, and that's going to, here you can probably see where that's coming through, right there. So you stick those there, and that's going to give your case a little bit more elevation off of the floor. You don't have to use them if you don't want, but you do have the option. All the included screws are in a little baggie. That pretty much is expected. And last but not least, check this out. You can install as long a graphics card as you could possibly want, because with 2 thumb screws you can remove the top 3 hard drive cages for up to 370 millimeters, I think, or 37 centimeters long graphics cards. And I'm just going to double check that. And I could be wrong. 38! Haha! 38 centimeter long graphics card. So, I mean, for context, guys, this is a 69... Oh, I'm coming back. This is a 6990. So, you can install a graphics card up to that much longer than a 6990. So, there you have it. And you can still install 3 drives in spite of that. Now, the overall finish of the case is honestly really nice. I never actually showed you guys the build of the side panels. So, fairly unexceptional, but given the price of the case, it's not bad at all. And then they're using their trademark soft touch feel on these accent pieces on the front of the case, as well as on the top near the ports. I do really like soft touch. It's fairly fingerprint resistant, feels very durable, and looks really good. So thank you for checking out my unboxing of the Bitfenix Raider. Don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips for more unboxings, reviews, and other computer videos.